different types of airspace surrounding airports. We can start off by defining controlled airspace. Controlled airspace is a set airspace where ATC services are provided. It can be Class A, B, C, D, or E. So next we have a control zone. So picture an airport. A control zone is the smallest type of controlled airspace associated with that airport. Control zones are usually 7 nautical miles in radius and centered on the airport. They go from the ground up to 3,000 feet AGL. Control zones could be Class C, D, or E, and sometimes B. So if you picture an airport as like maybe a little dot on the ground, there's going to be like a small tin can shaped space of air surrounding that from the ground up to 3,000 feet. It's going to be controlled airspace, 7 nautical miles in radius, and that is your control zone. Again, it's a type of controlled airspace. If you've got a little bit bigger of an airport, you can have something called transition airspace. So you could zoom out a bit from that tin can shaped 7 nautical mile thingy. This is now 15 nautical mile radius centered on the airport. Again, it's a type of controlled airspace. And it's often used to get in or out of the control zone, so in and out of that smaller, more protected packet of air. So the base of it is at 700 feet AGL. It can go up higher, but it doesn't touch the ground like the control zone does. So the innermost layer is the control zone. Next, you've got your transition airspace. If it's a bit bigger of an airport, you could have a control area extension. Again, it's a type of controlled airspace, and this one is more so to help manage IFR traffic. It goes from 2,200 feet AGL up to 18,000 feet AGL at the very highest. And then the biggest one you could have is a terminal control area. So again, a type of controlled airspace. It's centered on the airport, but this one's going to be found at very high volume airports. And again, it's to help manage IFR traffic. It's really similar to the control area extension, except for that it's a bit bigger and this one can go into high level airspace. Your control area extension cannot go into high-level airspace, but a terminal control area can. So again, these are all types of controlled airspace where ATC services are provided. We start off with our airport. It's going to be surrounded by a control zone, so the smallest type of air that's going to be surrounding an airport. Control zones go from the ground up to 3,000 feet, usually 7 nautical miles in radius. If it's a little bit bigger of an airport, you might have your transition airspace, which is to help you get in and out of the control zone. And it's 15 nautical mile radius centered on the airport instead of just your 7. But it actually starts 700 feet AGL and goes like upwards. You've got your control area extension if it's a bit bigger to help manage IFR traffic. This one goes from 2,200 feet to 18,000 feet AGL. And then the biggest one of all is your terminal control area. So again, a type of controlled airspace found at high volume airports and helps manage IFR traffic. It's different from the control area extension because this one doesn't have like a height limit. It could go up to high level airspace. Just a quick reminder that your control zones are going to be the Class C, D, or E airspace surrounding your aerodrome. And that's it. Thank you.